Hey guys, this is That Mask Guy coming at you. On tonight's show, we'll be discussing the upcoming C4 comic convention coming here to Winnipeg. And if we have time, we'll bring up a couple other things later on. You know what? Let's hit the music.
And welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy podcast. I am Captain Fizz.
And of course, I am El Hombre Loco Enmascarado, better known as That Mask Guy. But you know what, honestly, maybe we should just start calling me Loco.
Well, I usually do.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, we spent so much time during the summer talking about the San Diego Comic Con, which is a huge one. But this October, we have a huge one coming to our city, and that's the C4 Comic Con. It's well known here in Winnipeg. It attracts lots of people. I personally have had a lot of experience there. I believe that Mask Guy has as well.
Absolutely. I found out about it during the second year. It was absolutely huge because at that point, and still to this point, I honestly thought that getting down to the San Diego Comic Con was something that I wouldn't be able to do anytime soon. So this one allowed me to go off and to come to my own in my own city to go off and see a lot of these celebrities that I would that I was wanting to see. I mean, in past years, we've had Ron Perlman here, we've had Patrick Stewart. We've had William Shatner. We've had
Adam West.
Can't forget Adam West.
Peter Mayhew.
He was here a couple of years ago. Absolutely.
I believe you also met the Bushwhackers here once.
Bushwhacker Luke was here. The Honky Tonk Man was here as well. Last year, not last year, but 2 years ago, I got to meet hardcore legend Tommy Dreamer, Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase. And there's been tons of Star Wars alumni that have come as well.
We have to mention, because our producers keep telling us to, Star Trek also does make appearances here. This year is going to be a big Star Trek year, which kind of sucks.
Well, this won't be as big. In past years, they've had a lot more people from Star Trek there. I mean, like I said, Patrick Stewart came 2 years ago.
Yeah, but Patrick Stewart isn't, was pretty much known for other things as well. So not just Star Trek.
He was the big celebrity a couple years ago. So was Billy D. Williams was here as well. I'm still kind of upset because I never got a chance to meet him. And
we actually have 3 Star Trek people showing up this year. So that's kind of huge if you're a Trekkie fan. I personally remember taking, a lightsaber to Trekkie fans' throats, but that's a personal opinion. So we definitely have a big lineup of guests this year. Follow C4 on Facebook. They pretty much update you all the time on special guests, special, events that they do, which is, a huge thing to follow. It's, honestly, I love appearing at it every year. We usually dress up every year. Usually Star Wars. I believe this is actually going to be our first year not dressing up because we have to promote our show.
Well, yeah, so we've got to get ourselves a couple of T-shirts.
I may be the Captain Fizz Stormtrooper this year. I think that'd be a pretty unique thing to do.
Honestly, what I may just end up doing is I may end up wearing my Jedi robe with my mask. My mask is starting to get a little snug, so I'm considering getting myself a new one at some point.
We're gonna upgrade your mask. So, anyways, this year I do have a list of, a lot of the guests that have been announced so far. Now, don't take our list as an always go-to list. Sometimes it changes. They add some. They lose some. Things change.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray Park, who played Darth Maul in Star Wars Episode 1, was supposed to come here 3 or 4 years ago, and due to a family issue, he was never able to come. And they haven't been able to get him to sign up since then.
Yeah, and that would be a huge thing to come to our city. But we do have some big names. So, if you're from Toronto or Alberta and you go to your Comic Con regular, I have attended the one in Edmonton and also the one in Calgary. You guys throw on some good ones, but we do have some big names, and we do throw a little bit of more of a party for our comic convention.
Absolutely. You may not realize it, but Winnipeg really knows how to throw down a pretty mean shindig.
Yeah, there's after-hour parties. They have meet and greets. You can talk to people. It's a fun weekend. It definitely is worth checking out. So if you're in the Winnipeg area, or you're from Winnipeg, go check it out. Give some geeks some love. So anyways, some of our special guests this year are Nalini Krishnan. She is from Star Wars Episode 2. She plays the Jedi Knight Barriss Offee. I personally don't know a whole lot on that. I'm trying to rack my brain on that character.
I recognize the face, and honestly, I mean, she probably will be one of the first people I actually go and get an autograph for.
One of the ones that I want an autograph from is Sean Schemmel, who plays the voice of Goku.
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
That is a huge guest. I am excited for our city to be able to bring such a phenomenal, voice actor such as Sean to our city. Goku is pretty much everyone's go-to anime, episode, TV series, whatever you want to call it. I'm lost for words. Carol Strucken plays Lurch. Which from the original Addams Family, that's a huge one as well, especially for around Halloween. What better character to bring to Winnipeg for the comic convention around Halloween than Lurch?
Absolutely. Can you just imagine, you ring the doorbell, door opens up, and it's Lurch, and he goes off and he says to you, "You rang."
See, I would love to walk into the C4 this year and Lurch standing at the front door greeting people. That would be epic.
That would be absolutely cool.
I personally would definitely pay hundreds of dollars just to see that. Do not take it as an endorsement. I will not pay $100 just for that. Sylvester McCoy, who plays Radicus from the Hobbit.
And I know Doctor Who fans are going to absolutely murder me for messing this up. I believe he plays the 8th Doctor.
I will take your word for it.
From Doctor Who. And I actually remember him as a kid. I thought it was, the hat and everything was pretty neat. I'm kind of psyched. Out of everyone that's here, he might be the one I'm the most psyched for.
I think, honestly, there's a few for both of us, which is really unique, because there are some years, and I realize I'm talking fast, and I need to slow this down, but
yes,
C4 is a very exciting moment for me. A lot of my memories have been made at C4. I remember, our very first year there was a very young boy in a wheelchair dressed up as
Jango
Fett.
And I was dressed as a Jedi Knight. You were dressed as Darth Vader.
I was dressed as Darth Vader.
And we absolutely, I kind of got the impression that we definitely gave him one of his favorite moments of the day.
Yeah, but
it was definitely one of my favorites.
It was, yeah, and it was one of my fondest memories of C4. This boy, I can't remember his name after all these years, but he touched my heart to ways that I can't explain. To to have someone so young, definitely going into the geek world and being proud, and not letting anything get to him was phenomenal. And, it definitely was an honor for us to be involved in his picture and definitely have that moment to, talk with him. And he was a very smart young lad, and it was a phenomenal moment for me. And I think it was for you too. It definitely was very touching.
I still remember it. I look back at that picture that we took, and I have some great fondness with that. I loved the interactions that I've done, cosplaying as a Jedi Knight. But maybe for me, one of my favorite experience was my son, he's a very little boy. He's 2.5, and he doesn't even weigh 20 pounds. But I mean, we dressed him up as Yoda for Comic Con 2 years ago, and he was honestly probably one of the biggest hits at the whole convention. Everyone wanted to take a picture of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, now, at this point in his life, I don't think we could get him to wear a costume now.
No, probably not. But you do have a Chewbacca, sweater and different things like that. And these are things that are really important to us. I do remember me dressed up as Darth Vader, walking around C4 and being followed by box stormtroopers.
Yeah, a bunch of guys went off and took a bunch of boxes, turned it into stormtrooper outfits. That was pretty fun.
And they followed me around, the convention center here in Winnipeg, which hosts the C4, and throw a phenomenal, event every year. But I was followed around by these box stormtroopers for, a good while, and it was definitely entertaining. It made my day, and stormtroopers galore, and it's phenomenal. It doesn't matter, who you are, your gender, your size. If you enjoy dressing up as a character and you truly believe that with all your heart that you want to be that character, that you enjoy dressing up, go ahead and do it.
Absolutely.
Have no shame.
You know what? I'm always, every time I've went to C4, I've always been blown away with the creativity of people, dressed up for this. Like, again, those box stormtroopers are probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, we had a clash. They did try to kill you for me.
Yes, they did.
They failed. They can't shoot straight.
I seem to recall Gumby somehow stealing your lightsaber.
Gumby stole my lightsaber and he tried to give it to Batman. And it was the weirdest moment of my life, and I absolutely loved it. Honestly, it's a delight every time we go to C4. Yeah. If you haven't been, you definitely don't just take our word for it. Go down there. Go, take in the sights. It's well worth your money. It's phenomenal. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's like a whole different planet.
Absolutely.
So basically, Emma Caulfield, who plays Anya in Buffy, she will be there. I loved Buffy.
Yeah, and absolutely, and she was one of the more interesting. She had one of the more interesting characters because her character marries Xander in it, but she was a revenge demon.
Yes.
So I thought that was kind of
she definitely played a very unique character, and it is amazing to have people of that caliber come to our city.
Absolutely.
It makes me proud of my city, and that doesn't happen very often. What I am proud of, and we're talking about how we dressed up for Comic Con, and the young boy and your son, and a lot of these other ones who put so much energy and effort into their costume that one time a year. There are a select few people who make a career of this, who this is an everyday thing for them, and they go to photo shoots. They spend a lot of their own money, their time to promote their image, and this empire that they've built around them, all these characters. Very few of them are able to make this into a huge following, and for Winnipeg to be able to get one of them to come is a phenomenal feat, especially such a big name as this one. Ryu Lavitz, I'm, from the States. This is someone who's been followed for a very long time, a very popular cosplayer. For her to come to Winnipeg, and this is her first time being in Canada, from what I, recall, This is a huge thing for our city.
It's a huge thing, and you know what? You can go